Hello, it's Auntie Julie, and today we're going to read The Boy in the Drawer by Robert Munsch. I hope you're sitting or laying down comfortably as we begin. The Silly Story of Shelley. This book is one of Robert Munsch's strangest stories because it is actually two stories stuck together. In the beginning, it is a story about a little gremlin that appears in a little girl's house and makes a mess of things. The end came from a story called Jewel Ann's Divorce. A divorce was a little creature that ran around, getting bigger and bigger until everyone was nice to it. Then it went away. So he stuck the beginning of one to the ending of the other, and that was the story of The Boy in the Drawer. When Shelley went into her room, there were socks on the floor, socks on the bed, socks on the dresser, socks on the wall, and socks everywhere. "Yikes!" said Shirley. "What a mess!" And from out of the sock drawer, someone yelled, "Be quiet!" So Shirley crawled across the floor and very carefully looked into the drawer. A small boy was sitting there, reading a book. Shelley ran down the stairs and said, "Mommy, Mommy, there's a boy in my sock drawer." "Tell him to go home," said the mother. "And there are socks all over my room." "Clean them up," said the mother. But, clean them up," said the mother. So Shirley went back upstairs and looked in the drawer. The boy was gone. She cleaned up the whole room and went downstairs for lunch. When Shelley went back upstairs, there was a huge bump in the middle of the bed. She pulled back the covers, and there was the boy, watering a tomato plant. Shelley ran downstairs and said, "Mommy, Mommy, my bed is a mess." "Clean it up," said the mother. But, clean it up," said the mother. When Shelley went back upstairs, the boy was gone. She cleaned up the whole mess by herself. Shelley went downstairs and read a book. The room started to get dark. Shelley looked around and saw a big bump behind the drape. She very quietly crawled over to the drape and yanked it up. There was the boy. He was painting the window black. "Go away," said Shirley. The boy grew 5 centimeters. "Beat it," said Shirley. The boy grew 5 more centimeters. Shelley took a paintbrush and painted the boy's ear black. He grew 5 more centimeters. "Help!" yelled Shelley, and she ran off to find her mother and father. They weren't in the basement, and they weren't upstairs. They were in the kitchen. So was a lot of water. It was all coming out of the bread box. Shirley walked very quietly to the bread box and yanked it open. There was the boy. He was taking a bath. He said, "Please go away. You are bothering me." Shelley had an idea. She turned the hot water all the way off, and she turned the cold water all the way on. When the cold water hit the boy, he jumped up, grew 50 centimeters, and sat in the middle of the kitchen table. The father and the mother both said, "Shirley, tell your friend to go home." So she said, "Beat it." The boy grew 10 centimeters. Shelley decided to try something different. Very carefully, she walked over and patted the boy. Right away, he got a little smaller. And then her father went to the table and gave the boy a hug. He got very small. Then her mother gave the boy a kiss, and he disappeared entirely. "And who will clean up the kitchen?" said the mother. "And who will clean up the kitchen?" said the father. "And who will clean up the kitchen?" said Shirley. And the mother gave Shirley a hug, and the father gave Shirley a hug. And she cleaned up the whole mess with no trouble at all. And that's the end of our story.